Good evening, guys. Hope everybody had a good day. Hope everybody is keeping their head above water here in the Chop Fest. So let's talk a little bit, guys, about what to potentially expect from the market moving forward. If you're unfamiliar with the TTM Squeeze, as far as what a squeeze setup is and the indicator itself, I'll post a link to my TTM Squeeze lesson, guys, if you want to go check that out and so you can get a better understanding of what the hell we're going to be talking about in the video here. But for those of you guys familiar with the the TTM here, there's a big significance when the index itself, the SPY, goes into a daily squeeze. Right? There's a lot of significance to this, guys, from two different perspectives. One, you look at the most recent daily squeeze here. As we build up energy, as we begin to see accumulation inside of the squeeze, it's when that squeeze fires, right? And all that energy just starts getting released towards the upside. That's what can create that momentum, guys, where trading can get a hell of a lot easier. For the day traders, or the scalpers, or the swing traders, when we have that pure momentum, whether it's for a week, 2 weeks, whatever the case is, guys, trading doesn't get easier than when you have that kind of momentum behind you. And we tend to get that kind of momentum coming out of these daily squeezes. So, that's one reason this daily squeeze here right now on the SPY is significant. In the event, guys, we can break here, we could potentially, right? Of course, we could break out and roll back over, but potentially, like many squeezes, we could see some really solid momentum for a good week or so. So in anticipation of that, right, we got to take into consideration, guys, another kind of really important detail of the squeeze is that as long as we're inside the squeeze itself, we're going to see a lot of chop, we're going to see a lot of noise, and you're going to see a lot of head fakes there at the breakout level. It was no different on the most recent squeeze. Right? You get these very crowded breakout levels, guys. The market makers, the smart money, they all know what we're looking for. Right? When everybody's staring at the same level, that breakout is going to tend to be a little bit difficult because there can be a lot of manipulation taking place there. So inside the squeeze, we can see a whole bunch of back and forth choppiness. All that's really happening, though, as we know, is that we're building up energy, getting ready for the next directional move. And man, once that squeeze fires and all that energy gets released, that's when we can seriously go to work, guys. And the impact of, the SPY itself being in a squeeze, it's really significant. If you think about what the SPY itself is, it's a basket of the 500 biggest stocks in the market. So if that basket itself could potentially, guys, really get going towards the upside, right? Really release some energy and get some momentum kicking in, it's going to directly impact the 500 stocks inside of that basket. So the squeezes on the individual stocks, those can be awesome. But the squeezes here, guys, on the index, they're very significant. When and if that energy can get released towards the upside, that is when we as traders really want to get focused and really get to work. Because we're playing with the wind, so to say, at our backs. The big money is buying in a huge fashion, and for you scalpers, it gets so much easier with that momentum, right? For the day traders, for the swing traders, guys like me who sell options, everything gets so much easier when we have that momentum. And the party continues until you run out of momentum. So keep that in mind, guys. We can continue to see head fakes. This is a difficult level for the market right now. In the event we break through here, right, all of a sudden, guys, we're not all that far off from all-time highs. On top of that, you had some crazy selling pressure at this level going back in late February. We come back 4 months later, there's still some obvious selling pressure. We gap up and run towards that level on Monday, the sellers are still in control. We take another stab at it here today, the sellers are still in control. So this could be a tough level. My advice is, guys, wait for the confirmation, wait for the move to take place, and maybe, just maybe, once again, we can have a solid week, week and a half plus of some beautiful momentum towards the upside. Or we get rejected and we roll over. But nonetheless, guys, understanding what the SPY itself is sheds a little bit of light onto how significant it is when the index itself goes into a squeeze. If we're about to release some energy and we're going to go on a nice week, week and a half long move towards the upside, that's going to directly impact everything. And I can't stress enough that inside the chop is when things can get pretty difficult for an options trader. When you have that momentum, it's awesome. The game really gets fun. So sit on your hands, guys, and be patient. Wait for this potential move. If it gets rejected, if it rolls over, we can look to play it otherwise. If the energy does get released and we do begin to break out and run, we can take advantage of it all the way up until the momentum dies out. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Again, if you're unfamiliar with the squeeze, go into the description of this video, and I'll post a link for the lesson on the squeeze. Until the next video, guys, I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And over the next few days, we'll stay in touch, and we'll see if we get the breakout here or not. Rest up, guys. Talk to you soon.